Okay, good evening, good evening, good evening. So I want to welcome you. Good evening. Let's get a ball rolling here. To want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I am Afonso Z and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Thank you for being here. We sincerely apologize for running late, sometime due to a technical issue, but notwithstanding, we always, no matter what, your commitment to this network cannot afford us to fall short, because we know that you're going to be have been part of the conversation. Tonight program going to be in two segments. As you know, we always talk about what is happening in the community, and we hit the international front. Well, there's a big event slated for the ocean state of Rhode Island. There's going to be a carnival, going to be aboard the African community. The executive director, Mr. Maurice Akafori, is here this evening. So we're going to be having this conversation, what this ball is all about, how long has it been, and the prospect. And trust me, right after that, we're going to hit the politics of Liberia. We are getting more information as to how there are some true confession taking place now by some of the lawbreakers and not lawmakers. But let's narrow the scope of conversation right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island and right here in our own community. I am Afonso Zien. So good evening. Welcome to Mr. Monga. Victor, good evening. Welcome our new member here who has crossed over from the liberal wing. Fatu is here with us as usual. But let me just bring my guest. He's standing by backstage, and we get this conversation is ongoing right here. He is the executive director of the Oasis International, a non-for-profit organization being in the ocean state of Rhode Island, catering to providing services in different forms and shape right here. But let's join our special guest here, partly why he has not been here, but good to have you here. Mr. Executive Director, good evening.
Good evening.
Good to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't think you're going to retire so soon, because the way I see, every time I see you, some sort of a new energy, momentum is in you. You're busy, something going on. Any retirement program in the making?
Well, I think I'm just changing job. I retire from public service and then focusing on our community now.
Okay. Asking you to introduce yourself would be insane, but we always have different viewers, listeners, cross countries, all diversities, always form part of this network. I think it would be in the interest of our conversation to introduce yourself LPR is also diverse-based background. It doesn't matter where you are from, to your color, to your political ideology. We give everyone the opportunity to have a conversation. So let me give you a few minutes to introduce yourself, and we'll get right down to the business.
My name is Maurice Akinfolari. I'm the Executive Director of Oasis International. We've been on this for about 33 years now, piloting this program to engage and advocate for the African immigrant in Rhode Island. We've been working to support our community and to protect the integrity of the Africans in the state of Rhode Island. Our focus area is economic development, cultural awareness, health wellness, and youth leadership education program. So it's always my pleasure, to come out, to talk about what is happening in our community and in our organization.
Absolutely. Hello, thank you so much. I remember which year, how many years? There was an election that I conducted, and it was at the offices of Oasis International, our own African type products, which is also good. And you've been managing with this thing here. Let's give a backdrop of this whole Oasis International for those who don't know it. What is this all about and why?
The reason why we've set up Oasis International is to promote cultural, health, and facilitate community economy empowerment with emphasis on youth leadership development. When we got here, meaning that most of us, when we migrated to Rhode Island, there is nothing per se that represents the interests of Africa. So we decided to say, okay, let's do something that we can give back, and build, for generations to come. We now established a name, that is unique in the sense that Oasis is like when you have a desert and you have an oasis in it, and then we accumulate that with the diversity of the state of Rhode Island. We call it international, like a United Nation, because every culture is represented in Rhode Island. So that is what brought about the name of Oasis International. And recently, we add Oasis International, the African Center of Rhode Island, in the sense that we actually established a new African center in the state of Rhode Island that add another about 5,000 square footage of space for usage for our community in Rhode Island. So that is, what we have been doing. That is most of the time we've been spending, helping our children, mentoring our children, and providing information for our African community in Rhode Island.
What is the rationale of African Center? Someone is listening. Is that just to have a party, just to drink some beer, just to drink wine? But I know, but let me just play the devil advocacy. I know exactly the beneficiaries of as a result of the Oasis International. But with this piece being added, hopefully our cameras will be given the opportunity to take a tour. But what is the rationale of that African Center? What do you intend to showcase?
Yes, I think it's thanks for that question. The African Center is to advocate for the need of the Africans in Rhode Island and to work collaboratively with members of our community to bring resources to us in our community. The space that we have is going to be utilized by the community for seminars, for conference, for training, and many, many other things that ordinarily we don't have that access before. But now we have it. I mean, you could remember the Irish have their own, the Italian have their own, the Portuguese have their own. We don't have one way back. But
That's
now
we have. I love that kind of good jealousy and making that sort of reference because we need to have our own in order for us to be part of the society.
Yes, so this is established. This is for us, now this can augment everything else that is happening in the community so that at least our generations that migrated to Rhode Island can say, yes, we do really have the African Center that is working, that is serving the people.
I know it took a lot of time, energy, to resources to get to that point. Can we get a sense of how you arrived at that point? I know it's not easy to get those things done.
Oh my God. I think this is our third try, to make this happen. Before we have about 990 square footage of space. Remember the old credit union that we brought to place?
Yes.
That is the space we have, and we've been dreaming, just dreaming, hoping that one day, we will be able to expand that location. And here we go, before the pandemic, we did the groundbreaking and we did all it takes to start in 2019. And before you know it, we start construction, we did the groundbreaking, here come pandemic, hit us like something that is unbelievable.
Another step back, like, oh yeah, we go again. This whole thing coming go down the hill.
Yes, that is. I mean, now it took us about something that's supposed to be about maybe 2 years. It took us 5 years, to build it. But I'm glad to report back to the community that it's finally done. It's open. It's running. People are welcome to come and tour the place. They can call us at any time, to come and tour the place.
Definitely, and that's what I was coming to. And we need to do that. We want to be illustrative. We want to be have that sort of visual connection with the people. As we talk about it, hopefully our camera is going to roll through. Why you didn't give up after the whole COVID thing here? Everybody was going head crazy, and you kept going to get this. Why?
Yes, because there's. When we did the feasibility study, it becomes a number one thing demand by our community that we have to have it. With the support of so many people in the community, with the support of the foundations, the support of the state government, the support of the city government, and the support of the financial institutions. Those are the people that make it happen. The outcome of our feasibility study, was stable, to many of these institutions, and they realized that there is a need, for the African Center in Rhode Island. And that is why, I know it's not by our means, by the means of so many people to make it happen, that we will finally have almost about 5,000 square footage of space, that we can utilize for so many youth programs, seminars, conference, and anything that we need to do in the state of Rhode Island. And it's open. It's welcome to anybody that wanted to use the facility.
Okay, we're going to talk ask some critical question. I'm a free thinker, and you are at liberty to plead the fifth where you find it necessary. Okay, here is the thing. I don't want to sound ridiculous yet. This is something that I know you would talk about in the past. You've been working, and it's a sacrifice, immense one, time, energy. How to sustain, keep, and that it will be a long lasting. One of the things here, how to sustain institutions, organizations. Yes, you are there now, you're doing everything, but what happens tomorrow when Mr. Akufo decide to say, you know what, it's time for different persons to step in the gap? Is the institutions as a whole, the Oasis International, putting some framework, contingency plan into place? And when you leave, because this is where the legacy is so much important. You can't work for all of these years with other members. I mean, the leader is the one that lead. The leader makes things happen. If the leader is like a snail who can move, things will not move. You are working tirelessly to reach to this point to have this center. Are you working on plans to as well now that no matter whether you decide to go for vacation, you decide to take a break here, I need to pass this mentor over to the young people or somebody, or you want to make sure that is sustained? How critical is this point?
Well, I think it's a right question to ask. We've been deliberating on this. We have established a succession plan, for this institution. And there's a lot of things into the succession plans that we allow people to manage the institution without the current leaders of the institutions. We have trained enough young professionals in our community that are currently they are mentors, in the institution. They have been volunteering with us in the institutions. We know that these are the future, and we have to make sure we prep them. We have to nurture them. We have to show them the way, how to manage and how to take charge of this thing. And when I say young professionals, these are graduates that have their own job, that are ready, to roll up their sleeve and help us, to continue the management of the institutions. So one of the key things that I know we have in place is putting an endowment in place, which we have with Rhode Island Foundation. Special grace of thanks to Rhode Island Foundation creating the endowment for OASIS International for the operational of the institution. So this endowment is something else that we need to talk about. How do we grow the endowment, so that the income that comes from the endowment will help us to hire staff or to add to the salary of a staff, or to maintain the building. Bear in mind, the infrastructure is a generating infrastructure that will maintain itself, in a nutshell. So it's going to be rented. It's not free. There's various prices for activities in the building, and this money generated will be used to maintain the institution, will be used for operational fund, so hopefully it's like paying for labor now. Remember, when we started, it's a labor of love. It's a different ball game now.
Right.
Now we are now establishing staff. We are establishing consultants that are helping us in various programs. We have a student intern that we are paying, to work with us, to help us. So the succession plan is in place, for after us, because succession plan is not about you. It's about the future of the organization. So we are working on that. We have locked in a lot of things in terms of the succession plan, and then we will continue to build on that.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the kind of details that you are providing. It's not like the typical people doing things. Okay, we just think about today, tomorrow we bring it home. I don't like those kind of things because that's not a plan. It's not a strategy. It's not workable. It's not attainable at all. Tomorrow we'll bring it on. How the hell tomorrow going to bring it on? You have to make a plan for tomorrow. And, obviously, we will have to make plans to roll the camera in there so that people will get a sense of what is happening, because this is time taking. How much is I don't know whether it's necessary in terms of the kind of investment being put into that, because people need to know. And I don't know, too much of free thing now go. Well, people, you give them free thing, they don't value it, they don't take it serious, they damage and they go by the way. I never found money in this country since I came. I don't know whether you did, but I never found not a $5. I never found one. So we need to take care of institutions. The institutions, we need to have plan that is sustain itself. And one part of that is what you just explained, because when people will use that, they have to pay for it.
Yes.
Guess how when we go to the Spanish, I don't want to be mean to Portuguese, there's some sort of a deposit fee. You're not going to damage anything and go and think you're going to go, because how it's going to be used. I think we have to go back. So you have a function hall or different chandelier room, if I will, to different events.
We have a function hall, that is active now. People are calling in, people are booking. They started booking for next year, so we are very, very engaging.
I think we need to start getting some of that money by coming to start roll our camera and start rolling regular promotional thing here to OASIS.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you scratch my back, I scratch your back.
Yes. So we've been booking people, to use the facilities. So far so good. It's been very successful for all the bookings, and we continue to make calendar for 2025.
Oh, okay. How many halls? What is a big here room there in terms of events? Just in case people that are listening, I've seen a lot of Rhode Islanders following here. Mr. James Dubbott, one of our long-term community service. Thank you for joining us here. And many other here that are following neighboring Massachusetts. We border with them here, depending on how it looks like, people can always. How many persons maybe the bigger room takes?
The room will take about 200 seating. And then 300 with just chair.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's very sizable. Yes.
Wow. We got off the line. We have to make plans where we want to roll our camera in there, maybe take a tour and do something. Okay.
Please do.
Let's come to the main event for which you are here. All of what we talk, very, very cardinal, very, very much important. I am hearing the doorbell, the trumpet is blowing for the 7th of December right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. What is going on?
Well, we are celebrating 33 years of community service. Like any other organization in our community, we are giving all it takes, for us to let people know that we have come this far. And as a matter of fact, this is one of the celebrations for the ribbon cutting, or that finally, we created the African Center of Rhode Island. So we are definitely celebrating. We are giving an award. We are giving award to a lot of people that have helped us along the line. The keynote speaker, of the day is Congressman Gabe Amo, the new that just won the election. Is going to be our keynote speaker. We have many other people that are going to be receiving an award on that day. One of them that is receiving 2024 Diversity Community Service Award is Shondell Bonnie Speaks. Is going to be receiving Community Service Award. We're going to be giving Shane Lee, an award on that day, who has been instrumental in Nonviolent Institute of Rhode Island. We have two 2024 Presidential Circle Award that goes to Joyce Jonah. She has played a lot of vital role in the community.
So it's important. When you say 2024 Cycle Award, what is that?
The African leaders of Rhode Island, every year have the opportunity to look at one of our active leaders that are doing something incredible in our community. So we gave the African leaders, to select one person that is going to receive an award at the African Gala. So this happens to be the president of the United African Women of Rhode Island, and that is Joyce Jonah. So that was the leader that was selected to receive the President's Circle Award, of 2024.
And she's interesting that she's a Liberian.
Yes.
So if I were me, I was going to go to my country, Nigeria, and say, why would you want to do that?
Why do we want to do Celeste in Liberia? Because this is an African show.
Okay. I'm just acting crazy here. Okay, all right.
This is an African show.
On these selections, let's dive into this a little bit here. How is, for those who are listening, we always like to give our listeners precise clarity in our conversation, especially these educative, informative one. How is sort of selection now? There are other people that contested for this sort of award?
These are award of recommendations, from a lot of things were put into it in order to come to this conclusion. Yes, believe me, we've been doing this for 33 years. We got it packed. We know exactly who to be appreciated. When you look at two of the awards, remember I mentioned about the young professionals. Okay, yeah. The Young Professional Award goes to Oluwatoyin Omisore. She is the owner of Rome Loud. This is an incredible clothing line, in the United States. So it's one of the young professionals that graduated from Oasis, as a matter of fact, from our program way back. So we're glad to recognize her, for this incredible entrepreneurship, thing that she created, and it's part of that economic development.
Are you saying it is a creation? These products are
these products are her creation. Yes. Oh yes.
Oh.
I mean, she was once, as a matter of fact, part of Oprah, line of program. Oh, you got to come and see her. Believe me, it's
I I have to find time to sit with this. But I think these are people that we need to showcase because they will show us a pathway. They will serve as an inspiration,
Yeah.
motivation to the society instead of these plenty headaches, conversation, and stuff here. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
And then the second young professionals are revived therapeutic program. These are young Ghanaians, ladies that establish Revive. Believe me, their office is on North Main in Providence.
Let me see.
Revive
This is the
therapeutic, yeah, Revive.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I saw the therapeutic here. I think.
Yes, these
Okay.
are Ghanaians, young women that create this industry. They have a staff almost about 300, on their cover. Trust me, you need to visit them. They are doing an excellent job, and they are part of young professional in line with Oasis. And then we are recognizing their business. The service they established. Believe me, they are wonderful. Akos and Abby. They are the co-owner of that industry, and they are Ghanaians.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes.
So let's see this. Let me just go through the slide here. And okay, we'll talk about Jonah already with diversity community service. Diversity community service. What is that?
Yes, that is Shondell. She is one of the mover and shaker in the minority community in Rhode Island. She used to work with Elosa, Mayor Elosa. She helps created the AAAG, the African American organization in Rhode Island. That today they are still part of people that are making a difference. So we recognize her because of her involvement in the African community, involvement in the African American community, and she has put a lot of hours, giving back to the community. This is a lady that needs to be recognized.
So these are real-time people who has made and continue to make significant impact on society, community as well. Real-time people.
That is correct.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, we'll talk about
Yeah,
let's
Shane
see,
Lee.
community. Okay, community service is what Sean Alvin Lee.
Yes, he's a director of training and special project at Nonviolent Institute. This gentleman has made a difference in the life of a lot of minority kids, in terms of nonviolence. He is an excellent trainer. When I say that, believe me, call Nonviolent Institute and interview him. You will know that this is the man that spent all
Oh,
his time
definitely, all of these
helping
people, I would
kids.
definitely give them a slot here. I mean, that's so these are people who like to talk to. Okay, public service community, community service award. Linda event,
Daishini,
Deshini.
yeah,
Hmm.
she is a sister that has been around. I don't know if you know Munia Muhammad. Munia
Munia.
Muhammad is a muralist. The mirror on the building on Oasis,
Right.
Munia put that in place with the help of grant from Rhode Island State Council of the Art in 2011. So Munia is Linda's husband. Linda worked with Diocese of Providence, for many years. Is the executive director of St. Matthew the Paul Senior Center in Rhode Island.
Okay.
She's been everywhere. She used to be executive director of Rhode Island State Council of the Arts for many years back. She has been very, very engaging, active in the community. So, this is an overdue award, for
Right.
Linda. I'm telling you, so well deserved, and we are glad, to have Linda, on that day to receive her award, from Oasis International.
Yeah, so as the saying goes, it's better late than never. And I think it is good to appreciate people when they are around. I don't like when it becomes when it's an obituary now. Oh, you were there, she was there. when he or she doesn't have an idea what is happening. But I think this sort of recognitions is memorable and is commendable because they're going to see the fruit of their own labor. Okay,
Yes.
so so how Congressman Gilmore, let me just bring in here how he comes into play. What is the rationale of us
Oh
having
my God.
and,
I mean, this is another young professional, to be candid. Remember he used to work with Governor Gino Raimondo, in Rhode Island. He has been instrumental in so many things, in terms of African community. Not even know then that he's going to be running to be a congressman. He has been very active with us, at Oasis way back then, and then we just happen to be lucky, for African leaders, to help, in his re-election, and now he finally won the election. So this is something that all of us need to celebrate. People need to come and listen to him. People need to come and shake hands with him because this is our son.
Yeah, I've listened to him, and he's a very good orator. He's a very good public speaker. He knows how to connect. He knows his audience. For a little time, I've seen him speaking to other places like the Martin Luther King stuff.
Yes.
Part of a year ago or so. He's an awesome guy and full African heritage, both
Yes.
Nigerian, Ghanaian. So that's a good thing. And I think that's a smart move to tap in the expertise of your own. That's another motivation. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, what's going to happen?
At the end of the day, we are going to award scholarship, 6 scholarship, worth about 6,000 to college-bound students on that day. Last year we did the same thing. I don't know if I sent to you what we did last year. This is last year, scholarship that we did. This is it right here.
Okay.
We gave.
I don't think I get that. Okay.
Okay.
So
We gave 6 scholarship last year, 6,000 to college-bound students. So we are doing the same thing this year. Give scholarship to our children because we say education, education, education. What did you do to support them? So part of the proceed of this event goes towards scholarship. And that's why we are appealing to our brothers and sisters and community to come and support this endeavor, to come and celebrate with us, to come buy your ticket online, join us at Roast on the Patuxet, on the 7th. The cocktail is 6 to 7, and the program starts at 7, and it runs till about 11. So by the time we finish, bring your dance shoe, you'll be able to dance and enjoy. It's a holiday season anyway. First Saturday of December. It's a day to come and relax, enjoy, win raffle, win all the 10 bid for items. We have wine grab. On that day. You can bid for wine and make it merry. I think that would be awesome.
And just make your life forget about the working that day and
yes.
Let me just take care of myself a little bit and
yes.
Yes. And I know usually I remember a couple of years ago, one of the functions Oasis was getting people out of here, going to Washington, going to a lot of this bus tour and all of that.
Yes.
And the work of Oasis International for those that live within Rhode Island and its environment is really visible. And that was one of the reasons I was asking with all of this hard work on your leadership with your staff as to what I would be sustained when you decide to say, you know what, let me just leave it. And that was the essence of that question. What are the contingency plan in place here?
We have that.
What is the level of support here? I know it might sound ridiculous to ask you. What is the level of support so far running this Oasis International, and for which you are still in the vanguard to make sure things are done?
Well, the level of support is very high. We are very grateful for many support that we've gotten from many corridors in Rhode Island. We've gotten support from the congressional delegates. We've gotten support from the states. We've gotten support from the city. We've gotten support from the foundations and many individuals, that have support Oasis International to grow to be what it is today. And like I said, 33 years is not a joke. We're stuck in there, and we have something to show for it at the end of the day. That's what that really, really matters. We focus on the mission, the goal, the value, and we continue to build on it. There's no end to this thing. Like I said, generations and generations to come, we have something to hold on to. That's what it is all about.
Where do you want to see this Oasis International angle? Where will you want to see it reaching to say, okay, you know what? I'm brushing it out. Where do you want to see this organization being?
I want to see it to continue to expand, to continue to help our people, to help continue to build our children, for them to continue to grow, and for them not to be a liability to the society. Our focus is for you, when you come to Oasis, is to go to technical school or go to university. One of the two. Is either you learn a trade or you go to traditional university. And we are going to help you to do that. You want to be a plumber? We'll find somebody to mentor you. You want to be a carpenter? We do the same. You want to be an electrician? Likewise. So we have a tool, that we have mastered from Department of Labor and Training. It's a tool that we have in our hand. Not only that, we are in collaboration with many of the universities, URI in particular, Brown, Rhode Island School of Design, Bryant, Community College of Rhode Island. So we are now telling our children, look at Community College of Rhode Island, 2 years free. If you meet all those requirements, where can you find that? That is a good deal. I'm a product of CCRI, and I'm proud of it. And I keep telling all the kids, do not discount CCRI. It's a perfect setting. It is what you put into it that you're going to get out of it. So
on my own alma mater as well. And so, that's the beginning. It kind of set the stage. It prepares you to go for
yes.
long. And that's the beauty of this country here. I don't care whatever subject matter you find yourself struggling, that support system is there. Somebody is either from the professor, teacher, or even your own peers. Someone in the class will say, hey, unless you don't just want to do it.
Mm-hmm. It's all rests with you, and believe me, our youth leadership education program, which is every week, that we take upon put on ourselves to train our children, train them in leadership, train them in public speaking, train them in communication, train them, getting them ready and prepare them for college, train them for fact of life, ordinarily the things that we take for granted, train them to be responsible. I think it's a key, in this diverse society that we find ourselves. Back home, we're trying to, bring the modern back home style into what we do, so that they can see the culture, because we have culture, Remember in those days, you would carry something on your head to go sell in the market. I know you don't do that here. In the morning, you have morning show, you got to sweep, in the morning, you got to do all these little things, So those African things, some of them we implore, to train our kids here. And I know the parents are doing a decent job, because charity begins at home.
Right.
So we are just building on what the parents started, So our job here is to help the kids to grow, and also to bridge the gap between the children and the parent, And so far, so good.
Let backtrack here a little bit. How this concept came into place? What time do you remember? Just wake up one morning, wake up in the morning, maybe after breakfast. I don't know whether you ever remember what you ate or how it came to play. Look, I need to get this done. I'm going to put my feet down. I need to rally. I need to mobilize and bring this thing called Oasis International with such a big vision to get you to be what. Do you remember where this whole concept came from?
So, that's a long time ago. We're talking about, many, many years back, I'll probably say about 40 years ago, you know,
Wow.
I mean, even before 40 years, or people like me, you know, you remember back home, you know, you have Boy Scout, you have Boys Brigade, you know,
Yeah.
that is where, and then in term of that, we're in a boarding house, you know, where parents send you there to live independent life. And then you will be trained by seniors. Not only that, you know, you are trained with a discipline of Boys Brigade or Boy Scout, where you go on camping, you know, more independent living, you know, all those things are something that was instilled in me. You know, we have great mentors back then, back home, you know. So when I got here, I try to look for way to utilize those experience, those knowledge that was instilled in me, you know, where can I transfer these, you know, to help other young ones, you know, and that's what really bring me into the picture with a couple of my colleagues, you know, to say we have to give back. We are lucky we were well trained here in this country, and then that knowledge plus the knowledge from home, you know, cumulative everything together, you know, to help our children here. I mean, you are not only helping your own children, you are helping every children because
Right.
they said it takes a village, right? They said it all, you know, to raise a child. So
Right.
we are using that village tactics to raise every one of our children in America. You know, thank God we are in an environment that allows us to do that.
To
And
do
we are
it.
so blessed.
Yes. Was there any point in time, like, you know what? And I know the young children here, you can't slap them, you can't whip them, you can't do anything. Sometimes uh, it's troubling. Was there
Mhm.
any point in time that, you know what? I thought I was doing it to mentor, to build the future generation, but enough is enough. I'm trying to wash my hand. Has that ever came to mind?
No, not at all. Not at
Wow.
all, because whatever that we get our hands into is by strategy. You know, we strategize, we work collectively, we send the ground rule not by force. We collectively set the ground rule, inclusive every one of them. You know, so that when you, I mean, just like how you are going to meeting these days, you know, they are meeting norms, right,
Right.
everywhere. So if you work with them and create a meeting norms, you know, and that's ground rule for every one of us to abide by. So it kind of,
Are you above that ground rule, director?
am I what?
Are you above that ground rule? Because there are some other people, I am the preacher
Oh
man.
my
Don't do this.
God.
Are
I
you
can
exempt?
never,
Are
I
you
can
exempt?
never be above that. No way. The same rule is applicable to me, is applicable to them. So we are helping them for their future, and we are giving them life example of what this is all about. It's just like you have an organization, you have to have a mission statement, right?
Yes.
You go to school, there is a mission statement. That's why you are going to that school. We've gone over all this for them to see how everything is related. You come to Oasis, there is a mission statement. There is a meeting norms. Just like your school, there is a norms in that school that guide the student, right?
Yes.
There is a mission in your school that guide you, and everything is focused on the mission and the norms.
So from what I'm gathering here, this was not taken lightly. There's a complete structure that will that get the institution to survive because people leave rooms where you have some sort of this sort of chaotic situation, but you put a structure in place and no one is exempted from
No,
that structure.
nobody is exempted. Yeah, you know, just like any ground rule, any institution that have bylaw, you know, that has constitution, all these things that has the board of directors, you know, all those layers of check and balances, they are all in place. You know, people that are responsible, you know, for what I'm doing, you know, people that I report to, you know, that are going to advise me, or that are going to roll up their sleeve when I said I need help, and they're going to come to my rescue. You know, so all these things are in place in order for us to um, build or continue to build this institution of 33 years.
How have you managed with this other aspect, whether from back home, from here? Politics seems to be one of the things that contaminate and kind of like derail our institution because more or less then it becomes personal and all of that. But this is more or less for human growth, capacity building, and all of that. How you manage to contain politics out of this whole thing and say, hey, this is what we are doing, and this is our mission. This is our goal. You can be for Green Party, Blue Party, whatever party from your country here, but when we come here, it's just strictly cohesive. That is a very difficult thing with our own community setting because the politics from our country, other places seems to kind of like transfer here, and it becomes a little bit ugly. How you manage to contain that?
Well, I think the rules are there. Ground rule. You are a 501c3 organization. You got to stay clear of politics. You might wear so many hats, but when it comes to that 501c3, you have to respect the rules. And there are rules that guide you for you to do A, B, C, D. You get a grant is restricted to 501c3. You can't go and use the grant to do political action committee. It's not practicable. So we are very mindful of so many things that we do. It's not like we are not in support of some politics kind of. We are, but you have to be mindful and know the fine line so that you don't draw your 501c3 organization into any political issue.
And I can remember, just in case if I'm going off track, don't hesitate to just bring me to the point. And he said even from Broad Street there, during election, most of the time, what I notice and that is good is open, transparent. People from different political background, the same member, and they come there to talk to people. Correct?
Yes, that's correct. Because it's about education in our community, which is very, very important. And we share that space with the African Community Leadership Forum, which is another political wing, and it's quite different for 501c3 organization. So they always, help the African community in terms of politics, to do fundraising, to do meet and greet, to do all those kind of things. So you have to know that, there are different organizations that are doing it, but it's still in the same building, but we know who is responsible.
I think that with this whole thing here now, with this African Center and LPR is an African network, probably I need to move my office. I think I need to move. I think I need to move that office in Florida. But anyway, that's a different conversation. Yeah. So the border is coming. What is the momentum? So what is the receptions? Who are you expecting? We are winding down, and I think I will find you. Will continue to promote. I'm really, really glad you're not giving up. I remember having election there where there's an election conducted and people were sending all sort of fake news and all kinds of stuff. Things were going on. We end up going to Superior. I know you don't host the Liberian people. They will do that, but yet and still, I think the focus remain placed. Who are some of the guests from the state side that will grace this occasion of December 7th?
I think we are expecting all the congressional delegates, to come and support Congressman Gabe Amo. We are expecting the governor, we are expecting the lieutenant governor, we are expecting many of his cabinets, to come. And we are expecting the mayor of Providence and mayor of Pawtucket, possibly other mayors to show up. We are expecting a full table of council people, coming into place, and many senators and a representative that are going to be in the midst of the crowd. So we are expecting about maybe 300 to 350, guests, at the location, which is Rose on the Pawtucket in Cranston. So we have a lot of dignitaries, including our leaders in our own African community.
Okay. Before we wind down here, the backbone and survival of organizations, institution is transparency. It seems to be the column council in terms of how we relate to our members and open book type in as much no matter it doesn't matter how much come in because this is where you win the support of the people and to see the authenticity in you, especially as a leader. How is that? Is in terms of the transparency on your watch as executive director of this OHC International? I mean, or anything because Rwanda is a very small place and they when people not throw or flyer or whatever placard or oh this. But how have you managed this to get us to this point so far?
Yeah, I think you are right about that. I think that is very, very important. Um, we, in the life of the organizations, we have secure, remember I mentioned about consultants. We have secure a CPA that does all our accounting book and file our 990. And you know, the 990 is a public information. You can keep our name into IRS. You know, our 990 is always up to date. We always file it because that is about transparency. People that give you money, they want you to know that you file your 990 and you do your reporting every year, you know, which is very, very important. So we never lose sight of that documentation and reporting. You know, I think that helps. You know, by having a professional, you know, to do the job for you. You know, it's not just something that you just do anyhow. No, you pay the professional as a consultant. They get the job done. They file your 990, which is very, very important as a 501c3 community institution.
Wow. Okay. So there are others listening to us here. I want them to get a big takeaway, to get a lesson, and I'm proud of what you do and what this community is doing. There are other people listening, followers from different states. They have different organizations. What do you think is the challenge facing not just on it this community, African organizations, in terms of managing, conducting, uh, maintaining the kind of relationship? Most of our community are fragmented because of different variety of reason. What is the missing ball in that?
Well, you know, I think the thing is here, you know, for us, there is always a like-minded individuals to work with. You can solve all our problems, just like any other thing, but you have to find those like-minded individuals that are going to focus on the mission of the institution, not deviating from the mission of the institution. And that has kept us going for 33 years. You know, we rely on those people that are stakeholders, you know, of the institution. And they are not difficult to find because they are not going to rock the boat. They will stay put and they will get the job done and they will provide support. But if you can't find like-minded, then the institution will collapse. That's what has happened to many of our organizations. You run for a while, but at the end of the day, it's going to collapse. We are grateful for the support we have received, you know, for 33 years. And I just hope generations coming will continue for another many years, you know, to continue to provide services that benefit our community.
Okay. Before we go here, ticket price, is there any like an official website, those who want to kind of like, or any social media handle, those who want to follow, be it whether they are here or outside, do you receive contributions or
Yes.
donations? And in that, what sort of donations and how can they reach you?
Please, they can reach us on our website, www.oasisri.org. That is our website. You can donate over there. You can buy your ticket. There are QR code on the website that will take you to where you will buy your ticket. Anything that you need, you can be a member through the website. You know, you can give us a feedback on the website. If you need anything, just send us a message. Our email is info@oasisri.org. That is our email. If you want to call the office, it's 401-421-1252. If we are not there, maybe we are busy, leave a message. We will call you right back. But we've been using those tools in the social media, on our website, on our Facebook, Instagram, and everything. We have newsletter. If you want to be part of our newsletter, please connect with us on our website. We will add you on to the newsletter. Every other weeks, we send out a newsletter in terms of what we are doing in the community.
Wow. Talking about membership, any statute of limitation, who can be, what is the criteria to be a member? Maybe somebody listening out of state, outside of Rhode Island, is possible to be a member. How can I be?
As long as you are friends of Africans, and you agree with our mission statements, with what we are doing, we welcome everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. Look at our mission statement. You want to support what we are doing, please sign us to be a member. It's very, very important, because then you become a stakeholder in the future of the institution.
Okay. Talking about member and then specific membership, due payment, commitment, just
there is a payment. I think it's on the website. When you see the application on the website, there is a payment to be a member. And if you are having difficulties in payment, let us know. We can do whatever it takes to welcome you, to accommodate you. Just let us know.
Okay. Well, what a beautiful conversations here this evening. Technology tried to wanted to interrupt it, but God doesn't like ugly things. So yes, at the end of the day, we managed to succeed. But definitely, I'm going to reach out and we'll try to have a tour so that those that are listening outside of Rhode Island, even people that are here who just don't know that there's an African Center, and that we have a sort of clear picture of what it looks like. What's your final word before we let you go, Mr. Director?
Yeah, please come and support us. We need your support for the gala, which is very, very important. It's coming up December 7th. The cocktail is 6 to 7.
African Gala Night.
After Gala Night, yeah, it's December 7th.
That's a real African lady. I love her. I love her wear. See,
there's going to be a cultural show. You're going to have fun. There's going to be music, dance. In the African attire, and we encourage other cultures too, to come into our midst to demonstrate their own culture. And you're going to see some of that on that day.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can try to make time to be doing this routinely, because that way we know what's happening in a community, like I told you, like brand community. Make use of what you have here, So because if you don't tell your story, we wouldn't know all of these good things, and people being awarded. We are not had a conversation. We would not know. And somebody would just come to the conclusion, oh, man, people money. Oh, they're not doing nothing. But we get to learn a great sense of community giving back initiated by you. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening, and I will wish you a success in the coming gala.
Thank you for having me. Have a nice weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we do. That's what makes our LPR announced. We are about to enter the slippery slope. I am Alfonso Z and so to the Lpr Public Radio. Stay tuned. Analysts, I'm going to be sending the link out. Terry, if you're listening, to the rest of the folks, we have a few more minutes to go to right on top of the hour, 10 o'clock. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
Okay, there you have it. That's our man, the lover boy. What, folks, analysts, the link is out, so we're going to be here right on top of the hour at 10 o'clock. We're going to be signing out here, but we just want to bring you this here. LPR have been around for quite a while. One of our own, a committed person who started his journey, community service, giving back to the community. He's now former Africa Bureau Chief, legendary journalist, formerly worked with the State Broadcasting Corporations as far as in the 1980s. The late Sam Craterdro. Sam Joe was one of the traditional reporter. Those days, ERBC used to be a ERBC, not the kind of thing that is happening right now, where they used to have this vernacular people reporting in different tribes, dialect, to make them to feel part of the conversation. Those days we had Sam Craterdro, Dan Kaid, they were the one that used to be reporting, was working with the State Broadcasting Corporation, reporting news in the Crown dialect. And also there's an English version to other responsibility. The late Sam Craterdro, then he retired, was volunteering with the Liberia Public Radio as our Africa Bureau Chief. He has been there, very down to earth person. A lot of documentary, participated in so many countless stuff. Yesterday, gave goals in the nation capital of Monrovia, passed away at ELWA Hospital. Our prayers and thought goes out. By the way, those who are friends of LPR, we don't usually do that, but we're going to be having a mass meeting. So I'm going to be coming out with that information. It's saddened. Less than like a year ago, the daughter passed away and he was sick. At that time, he could not, except while we're doing the live streaming, his colleagues that covered the program, and he was at home watching. He could not even attend his daughter funeral, and all this came from a motor accident. Just same community initiative, going out of the city to cover, to recall some homegoing ceremony. Coming back, there was this terrible motor accident that really resulted to his demise today. The late Sam Craterdro. May his soul rest in peace. We're going to be having a conference. If anybody feel touched that you want to give, whether you know him or not, but by virtue of his committed initiative, being one of our strong reporters here on this diaspora. During the last couple of elections, from Helen Johnson time to George Weah, Sam Craterdro, those of you that were following Liberia Public Radio, even at the time where there was no live Facebook, Sam Craterdro was going all in the trenches to dig out the news, and he was reporting a fair balance. I'm not talking about a sort of selective cherry picking. You talk this one and you don't want to give this other side. That was not who Sam Craterdro was. Sam Craterdro was a professional, and he took his job seriously. We say it, may his soul rest May his soul rest in peace. We will be announcing momentarily his homegoing. Conversations are being held. And as soon as we get this information, we'll know. And also, one of our valuable members here is celebrating her birthday today. That's Mrs. Esther Clark Frederick. Today, her birthday, we say happy birthday. We intend to be doing this with our members. Once you share those information with us, these are very personal, private thing too as well. Other people like to keep it quiet. Other people like it. So if you know you are a follower of Liberia Public Radio and you're having any big event, you want us to get it public, just let us know, send a message. Hey, and we just say happy birthday or happy anniversary or whatever day that it is, just for sharing with us. That's our own way of giving back. So, Madam Fredericks, we say happy birthday and God's richest blessings. May you be gifted with the life of the big years, right? So enjoy yourself as well. To the analysts, the list is there. The link is out now, and I think I'm going to activate this line here for us to have a conversation to see what happens yesterday in the West Africans. They never ever seen that before. Very ridiculous. That's another version of January 6th. That's the modified version that took place yesterday, to see the rule of law to be circumvented, and people who are lawmakers tend to be lawbreakers because they want to do it their own way. And it's just not good for democracy. Well, the conversations is so much hue that is being interpreted in different forms and shape depending who you talk to and which political side they find themselves. And that's what I say here. Everyone protect his or her own alligators in our Liberia process, and that is troubling. It is troubling, and the media industry is no exception to what is going on, because we fail to keep the conversation fair balance. It's resulting to all what we are having today, and many are now scratching their head. This is not what I anticipated. This is not what we expected. Yes, you do, because you did not create the open field where national conversations and give the citizens or the electors the opportunity to make some sort of form in the decision. What we did was, people in the media industries and media guru, they use their voice, their magnetic voice, their microphone, their persuasions, their dominance over national conversations, and that persuade people in making decisions without having a second thought. And that is bad. We need to stop that. News is all about making a fair, balance, or proportional. But we, the citizens and the electorate themselves, facilitate this sort of bad and ugly behavior, only to come at the end of the day to say, oh, knowing what I know. Yes, because he didn't want it to know. And so you just hold one side and you draw a conclusion and say, yes, that is it. This is what I'm going. But have we given all of these tons of people that were contesting, and even people that was contesting for representative, but our focus point was more or less to the executive because of the sort of dominant power, the presidency, the first branch of or the executive branch of government. So focus was there. So we did not check these lawmakers, those who wanted to be senator, those who wanted to be representative. No vision, no plan. You listen to the gentleman I was talking to here. There must be an exit strategy. There must be a strategic plan. And what I do know, and I've come to realize, our politicians, people do not have no political ideology. They don't stand for nothing. You know what they stand today, tomorrow there's nothing to guarantee. They do not have that value for which, yes, this is the value of our party, no morals, nothing. And that's exactly what we saw happening. A group of men and women who were just like flipping here and there, ignore the rules of the game. Something they themselves are put in place. Why it is true, you have to remove the speaker. There's a process, there's a channel involved. But what we saw, a political coup d'etat, complete political coup d'etat, a renegade group of lawmakers put together, abandoned their working assignment where the Liberian people elected would pay them. They were staying, chilling up in hotels, living, going, and coming. That is ridiculous. And we are not getting more information as to how. And some of us drew a line here, took a decision that this square, and I will still maintain my position. That's my view, that's my opinion, and I'm going to open the line. You can also have your side to say that all blame goes to the president of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Newman Boyka, who did not do anything, not talk to his party, even the very CDC themselves, for them to talk to their people to say, stand down. What was the reason? We don't know. You just make the accusation. Yes, even though we do not have a voice, voting power in the first branch of government, but we also voted you. We allow you to go there. So how many of them got the consultation, went to their constituencies to say, hey, this is what is happening, and this is the decision that we are taking. Unlike here, where we see things happening, these people, they return to their base, they go back to the constituent, whole town hall meeting, have conversation, but these people, they say, oh, hell, you guys go to hell. We will do what we want to do. And these people is all about themselves, is nothing they profess to do it in the interest of the Liberian people. And we have crazy people now supporting this sort of systems. And sooner or later, in the next couple of months, they will start crying, little baby cry here and 1 year. This is not what we do. We always in this sort of obituary game without making our own facts, finding out all of the things. And you have this guy here. This is so ridiculous. That's why it is, if you are unprepared and you just orchestrate this thing, I will put it wholly and squarely on Joseph Newman Boyka, who orchestrated this thing, left the country, foreign soldiers on his soil, no statement, nothing, left and go sit down to Sierra Leone because part of that. And part of the argument is because he deliberately do it to undercut this process and put fanatic under the boss and decided to go to Sierra Leone, and not just want to go into Sierra Leone. This old man here is something, he sent this budget to these renegade lawmakers who abandoned their official working place and decided to go to Sierra Leone to chill while foreign troops were wearing red beret. But let me just bring in Terry Collins, and we're going to have a conversation here briefly. And of course, we're going to open the line here because this is something. Terry Collins is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio Lpr-Tv and is a strong supporter of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka. Terry, Boyka put us into trouble. Boyka helped to circumvent the Constitution. Boyka helped to orchestrate this thing, I say, from day one. And we are saying that I did talk to two lawmakers today who are with the so-called majority bloc, and some of them are making true confession, reason why some of them defected, because two of them talked to me early this morning. I'm like, well, okay, you took your decision. So I don't know what is the essence of the point now, but are you going to come to your talking point? Because some of them hinted Kofa. Well, Kofa was on a 5-time year with Boyka. And he didn't, they said he didn't pay heed. So some of them were upset. And we're now getting to know that Kofa did brought this here. A close source familiar with the case brought it to the old man, and the old man said there was nothing, everything was going to be under control. We now know Joseph Boyka gave Fanatic Kopa Kalope and just abandoned him. But you know, I mean, this is what I've been saying here from all along, but it's glaring. Part of that, there's no way that these guys sending the budget, people going for confirmation to these renegade political guys, and you're quite correct. Joseph Boyka in politics, he wanted that speakership to come on to get his agenda going. But to show how these guys, they were so messed up, they were unprepared. This guy here, he put his left hand up to take out of office. Jesus Christ. Terry, I'm going to bring you in here. This is what I have a problem. We're going to play something here. I want to make it, I want to illustrate something here. our Liberian way of doing things and the modern way of doing things, the world civilized way of doing things, resolutions is climaxed with a vote to authenticate, to validate who for, who not against. I just want us to watch this here, and then hopefully we'll see the chaotic situation we saw yesterday. Courtesy of PBS. And this one here is all about the removal of Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Let's watch this and see.
Clark of Massachusetts. Yay. Clark of New York. Yay. Cleaver. Yay. Klein. Nay. Cloud. Nay. Clyburn. Yay. Clyde. Nay. Cohen. Yay. Cole. Nay. Collins. Nay. Comer. Nay. Connolly. Yay. Correa. Yay. Costa. Yay. Courtney. Yay. Craig. Yay. Crane. Yay. Crawford. Nay.
Terry, just trying to do something here. So let's watch the Liberian way and see and compare and contrast.
But I want to say to this body, having read the resolution which requires or satisfy both our statute and that of the Constitution, that the resolution be noted, received and noted, and all implementation in the resolution be implemented. Thank you. Endorse, sorry, endorse. You're not voting. No voting here.
Are you saying that the portion that has to do with any fundamental is mute?
Yes. In the first place, there was no motion. There was no motion.
So you restate a motion.
There was no motion. It's not a motion, Chairman. We want to inform the plenary that
on our note.
On that note, we say we receive the document endorsing in its totality. Simple, no motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, with the resolution generally, some 50 members of the Honorable House of Representatives certify the provision of the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria, Article 49, and is stated in addition to 9 of the House Standing Rules 9.1. Honorable Chief, that distinguished colleagues, the position of the Speaker of the House of Representatives is now being taken.
So the position is made vacant by 15 members of.
I would like the acting chief to kindly in keeping with our rules on the office of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker is announced vacant, I would like you to come and read our provision of our rule. What it states.
Rule 10. Subsection of the leadership. 10.1.
Vacancy, not vacancy. Yeah, not succession. Vacancy, not succession. Oh. Not succession. Vacancy. Vacancy.
Succession of leadership, yes.
Oh, not succession. No, vacancy.
Rule 10 have the caption subsection of the leadership. 10.1. When the office of the speaker
So, Terry, Jerry Boishin, the liberal progressive, you brought problem to us. This is what Joseph Boyka, the Unity Party people, seditions without hair as well, all help to facilitate. They do not know the hell what they are doing, succession, disjunction, and they are all confused, completely disoriented. You saw the impeachment process with that of Speaker McCarthy is just not only the resolution. It has to be climaxed with a vote. And you saw the clerk there, the lady, everybody sit down and they call the Saul name because I heard Collins' name. You voted to impeach McCarthy? I heard one Collins' name.
That's what I was thinking. I said, but you know, a lot of our inner meeting.
But you saw the process. But for God's sake, let's be real here. What happens yesterday in that country? Whether it will stay, it will not stay, but to get a saying, when they're carrying a hunchback man, you better know how, whether that coffin, they're going to force it or they're going to put nail through it and hammer it down, because eventually it is ridiculous, it is absurd. This is a complete political coup d'etat. This guy put his left hand up and all of that, unprepared, orchestrated, and I will say that you can disabuse me. Joseph Boyka is in the know of everything that happened, complete betrayal. And I was told, Speaker Kofa had a conversation with him. Two lawmakers who left, who with the majority black, and one of them said what got them upset because when this whole thing started, Kofa was in the States and called him and say, hey, Mr. Speaker, this is what is going on. You need to return and solidify your base. The first thing that came from, the government, the only thing that I run from that ring was bonfire in the bush that he there. He said, oh, and nothing. He said, I'm telling you, intense conversation is being taking place, and this is how it will go. You need to come. One of them left, and one of them, because of that, he said Kofa did not listen to him until he came, and that's why he decided to withdraw his support. Whether it's arguable, what is it? But this whole thing was planned and completely disposition him because maybe being in the city at the time and everything popped up, people lay him on it. And guess what? He didn't do it. He was to Grand Coup convention here, doing this and that, going to Aja convention and all of that. He said they are in the process to overthrow you, to put you down, and he downplayed it. But they also said, the guy also said, that conversation was held with the president. And that because most of the people they were harassing him, they see him as a money tree. So it was like, I think with this whole thing here, I mean, he got fed up. He got fed up. He wanted, and the president said, "No, I have your back." According to him, so we have to verify what he's saying. I didn't put finger in his throat.
You said the president said he had to do what?
No, I said we have to verify. He said the president said he had his back, that nothing could have happened when after this lawmaker then called him that he needed to return. This is what was going on when he was on the trip. And he did brought, according to him, he did brought that to the attention of the president that, hey, this is what going on. Even I was told, according to him, the folks from the southeastern side lawmakers, they try to kind of like, because what is all playing out was sort of unusual. So they try to having to see whether you can solidify the group from the southeast and push it. I mean, politics is always something. But for whatever reason, they get a saying that same bamboo that want to die, can't hear wish or sound too. So they lower it. I'm not sure whether that's the end of it, but it just doesn't look good. What is happening, we don't know what the Supreme Court going to do, what's going to happen. But if it succeeds, if it holds, it's just going to make Unity Party to be bad, and there's going to be a lot of ugly things. And trust me, you remember I said this here, this thing could potentially drag into the Senate as well. And when you go to the Senate, the next thing you're going to go to the other place, and it's going to be something that people will be unable to manage. But let me just bring you in here, actually. If you look at the proceeding here, even though Liberia is a different country on planet Earth, but people just to know, we don't know who is who, and deputy speaker declaring place speaker position vacant when the speaker is alive, is not incapacitated, and nobody can say, okay, because I'm not contesting, so this is it. Let me hear you.
Yeah, Mr. So we all saw the way they carry out, and they were looking like they were not prepared. They were looking like they were hurrying up to do something quick. They were looking like, you know, they missed many steps that they should have followed, and it looked like it was not done properly. All right, and anything that is not done properly is not done at all. The only thing is, can this be overturned? For a place like that bureau, I would say I doubt it. That is why we've been telling Honorable Kofa to resign. But then his surrogates and his people then who been behind him say, oh no, stay there, be there, blah, blah, blah. Because we have seen these kind of things happen in Liberia before. You know, and people thought we were telling Honorable Kofa to resign because we support Unity Party. No. I told people on the network, I don't support Unity Party. I'm an independent candidate. I supported President Boka for the presidency in 2023. I'm not a Unity Party supporter. I don't support Unity Party. I also say on the network that I don't like the Liberian politics. Because Liberian politics, no matter who there, John Brown, Peter Paul, they will do the same carelessness continuously. It happened under President We Are leadership. That's why I'm listening people saying, oh, President We Are, there's a gossip that's saying that President We Are is going to walk. He's going to take a walk to the how you call the place, to the Capitol Hill to meet Fanatic Kofa sometime next week. My thing is, the time the heat was on a man, you don't do the work that will carry weight,
right,
to solidify the man's strength, to compel, you know, the okra of the people. That nah. After the people finish removing the man, something on jungle way, John Jungle Jesse or what, the people finish removing the man now in that kind of manner. They have already issued details to the next speaker. The man exercising the speaker role. There are other guys who are on the other committees. They're now discussing with staffers. You've seen the man immunities are being taken away from him. That the time when you say you're going to march, after everything has been said and done, you travel all around the world. You left the man here. The man was struggling, stranding. You left him. You abandoned him. They finished defeating the man now. Everything have gone through. Your boys then went and made sure that the man was sending. Then you come in to say you. So where you going when you march now? What you going to do? It's just to show you. It's just to show your popularity. It cannot help Kofa. It's just going to show how great you are. And yeah, we all know the job. We are you get popularity. That all you
I don't even see what that doesn't even make sense. I don't know if that is the case. The time he talked to be in Ghana or whatever place, his party.
Don't share the GoPro. Don't share the GoPro.
Hold on, hold on. I'll come and tell it. I'll pick up the phone. We don't have those kind of comfort. Will come to you. Let him make a point. We're not shaking GoPro here. We're shaking everything around here tonight. Yeah, go up, make your point. Then
the most powerful man in the country. That God bless your way, your God, man, in the speaker role. For you to protect the man, you didn't do it. You heard all the noise. You were traveling around the world, giving golden ball. You finished giving the golden ball. I know that was important, but you had ample time while the men were even in court to come and stand with the man for your party to show strength. You didn't do it. You did not. Then you come now after the people finish removing the man. Government giving what his name? Richard Kuhn vehicle, giving him access pass. Then you come in now to say you're going to walk to the capital. So what you're walking going to do now? Because the people get what are you going to do?
Let me bring this other reaction here, because these are the same people that throw George Weah down the ditch. What are you saying? If it is true, I mean, that's if I've never seen any regulars and lack of leadership in George Weah, then the Joseph Boycott at the same time.
I don't get it.
And CDC too is another party their case out to talk, because I think what they thought, and I want to believe what this guy said. Breakable are going to be bringing you in. They don't see, one of the reasons they don't see Fanatic Kofa as a real sedition. You know, they have that sort of segregated way of doing things. He's not real sedition. They don't see him, or they see him as a possible threat, somebody whose political career is being elevated at the expense of CDC. You remember I said that here before? The Bafo he was fighting.
You said it, yeah.
He was fighting on so many fronts. And George Weah, if they just knew the importance of this position, speakership as the opposition, Fanatic Kofa was one of those who were with George Weah. We were told he one of those who drafted George Weah concession speech. So I'm wondering here, Fanatic Kofa, the former foreign minister, they were the people, and the former president, why? Because there were other people that were resisting. They never wanted the president to give in that number. We all know it was a sort of number, but those were the people saying, Mr. President, you still have enough time for the sake of peace. So I'm wondering here whether that didn't go well with the president, because I can't imagine, there's no other thing that I can process. Why would CDC people, for whatever reason, lack of morals, lack of character, no political ideology, that they will abandon their own? They can't, no justifiable reason.
No reason.
Let me bring in Breakable here, because he's screaming here.
Look, let me tell you something. Anyway, get on the show every day. I want to be called CDC. We are CDC. We are CDC. We are. Leave the things that are happening in our country. Leave it. Don't talk about it. Don't become talk about CDC. We are CDC. We are. The same thing that happened in the country. They were talking about John. They forgot the thing that they discussing. They doing the same thing. Look, let me that kind of issue. When we said this thing, your tongue was joking.
What did you say?
When somebody doesn't have heart, we got leader that doesn't have no heart. Human being heart. That's the country that we have now. You said, see what is happening there. You take president, we are going in that country. That's the only way that the problem can solve. The people in that country, and I'm looking for unless alone he don't have power as a president. He has nothing to do.
You are?
Alone he doesn't have the power to be as a president. He has no control.
You are
anything that happens in that country now.
You are completely lost. You are a lost guy, Breakable. Let me tell you, we are not saying President. George Weah is the standard bearer of one of the main opposition party in the Republic of Liberia. For God's sake.
And I agree. 1,002.
Okay. How many seditions defected from Kofa? Kofa, which bloc does he belong to? Which party is he affiliating with?
Listen to me. Listen. I think 85 president I have been now, you know. Well, CDC was collaborating with the political party. One. The president, you listen to the president, when you're in Ghana, you listen to him. He said when the Tifa during the time for the speakership, Tifa will not be speaker. The president said told speaker and said Tifa, no. They made the speaker for Baltimore lost the election. So any man going as a speaker, it should be he. He will be deputy. The man said no because Tifa the Copa king late. Copa had born sedition. He said no. If you get the mayor as the mayor former speaker and make it as a speaker and make it the deputy speaker. And he said no. So look at it. In that leadership, the team the leadership was there. The man said to him plain, and he said it. And apart from that, look, there were collaboration political party that makes CDC. Those people are talking about, most of the people are talking about. Some of them they were ranked for 100% for CDC. Even at no, I beg you, please give me a chance, man. Let me talk, please. I know to get it, I know be on the show. I really want to listen to the talk. Look.
9 years old and you know me because the thing you're talking Tabata now. I don't want to even.
Mr. So, listen why
those are Paul's excuses. So, do you agree with me that these people do not have political ideology? They do not stand for anything. It's all about themselves. Do you want to agree with that?
I totally agree with you. On it. But what the conversation I get with you is for you to make president, we are in it to be a whole case. No.
Of course.
Librarian by themselves. Librarian. When they live on you, and the team living on, you don't have it. The next thing you go over the meeting, librarian develop. They're man. Enough for you. They're for your what you get.
Thank you so
much. And look, let me tell you something. Anything they do, anything they turn around, President, we are coming right now country as a president. That want a clear show. And my last talk to Ennis. Look, Terry, if you come up beating around the bush, that thing you're looking for in our country, you'll get it clear in your hand.
So what Terry do now?
You know what I'm saying? Just say, you get, look, no, I think it helped me to explain why I say what I do this. If you listen, why man say if it,
Baba.
You talk for you come on, went to when around you, all around here,
breakable. Good night. Good night.
No, I think let me learn.
No, you already learned.
No, what's it going?
Tell us about
it. You know why I hate me too? But I think the thing I had me to explain, but I think it was so bad to me that I heard me. The man was defending Bwaka. What Bwaka not defending him? The man defended Bwaka and then he put a whole left on to both for Bwaka. And in a day, look at what happened.
Good night.
You see, the man did not come in.
Okay, bye-bye. You see the problem that we have in our country? These sort of so-called, he have no idea what he's talking about. I don't know what we're looking, look. All we are saying, and I made it clear here, that both the Boyka and George Weah, this is a clear indication these people they are not in control of these parties, whatever they say they get a party political leader. They're not no political leader. The people don't have time for them. They don't take advice from them. They don't have no political ideology. They feel that they are. That's exactly right. You see, and they do not have morals. That's the whole thing about. That's the bottom line. When Trump was even former president, he was placed quarter Republicans. And I said that here. I said, their president, there were two people who should have been a deal breaker to have this thing aborted here. I said that here from day one.
Yep.
Joseph Boyka could talk to Unity Party people. Hey, this guy is working with me. He's non-obstruction to my plans. He's traveling with me. He's been very something. He will do it. And you hear why you talking? Where Tom of and that's their CDC talking point. They don't see Fanatic Kofa as one of their own who maybe came with the trenches, but they do not know how Fanatic Kofa was a good asset to the president. And even telling him not to have rejected the result of the election, but Fanatic Kofa is the one that drafted that president's speech. Fanatic Kofa, Clawia, former Foreign Minister Maxwell Kimia, they were the last people who convinced the president, more especially his wife. When Jefferson Koji, when all the other people were going nuts, although they said they were looking for a way to put the military in the street so that I do it. But Clark said, no, do not do that. It will put everything down the road. And these people, they still do not get that concept, and they just think they have violence, and they think that people are just going to accept that. Now that has come and gone. You make it known that you're going to be, and that's the very first thing that he did, that blunder for which the party is set to put the party, put the very up CDC into danger. In the first year, you came back without anything you declared, when you should be solidifying your political grip, talking to your people in your house, making sure that they are with them, doing what they're supposed to do, working behind the scene, taking a tour, doing all of those things. He announced himself. Now, when you did that in the African setting or whatever way, the government going to keep out. That's not a justification, but that was the premature way of if they have like a good advisors, you're just going to be doing his, tour, engaging, going to this other world leader, positioning himself.
Right.
He's supposed to, and you think that they're going to just bring him back and take him there to be something. When what you have done, and I don't know, Tom Farah, he think they're going to point. He don't know about United Party. He doesn't know about United Party.
You see, Mr. So Tom Farah, all these guys, I want to believe that they got paid, so they got their cut. Because of the way, even the way they class it shows clearly that it was not free. They got a cut. But even that is how, even for nothing, won the elections in that place. All the people that they can get a cut.
And not to interrupt, this guy, lawmaker, he said that today. He said all the people that remain, in fact, and to the extent he said, and like New Year say, yeah. He said, oh, Fanatic Papa, he came on our church ground. So I said, what do you mean? The people Lakewood were dropping, and Fanatic now, that what people were leaving. Can you imagine? So these people, what was the word? There was a specific, he said, I don't know, this country is a commercial, some kind of word he used. I noted it down. So these lawmakers, these people that we have, I'm telling you, all of them, they are the same.
Mr. So
violence was used into this thing here. The government never investigated anything. The LACC, ESCC, they never gave anything. They dish out money to those people to facilitate this mission, and they make sure it was planned, executed. Joseph Boyka knew what was happening. Part of that, and you talk that here to strangulate the camp of Fanatic Kofa to say, you know what? Let me put the car here under the water one time, let it die. Send that budget to them, and decided to go on his trip to Freetown to a alma mater and acting like he doesn't know
you put your hand on.
I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Mr. So, here's the thing. I listened to what the Tabata Breakable talking here. Do you know that one of the beginning from CDC, I think that the youth chair or so, he always Jefferson coaching and thing. I think they were in Nima County or somewhere a few days. Why your speaker is going through the kind of heavy duty crisis from the government? He and Jefferson Koji took the whole CDC. They went into different county to go celebrate something they were celebrating under the falling soldiers of CDC. Recently, I just forgot his name, man. He can talk. He's a very Alvin Wisse. He was on. He said, after the people finish getting rid of Fonatio, I think yesterday or so he was on the media say that thing Joseph Boycott and the Unity Party people doing, we coming to town. We coming to town to deal with it. We coming to town to deal with it and thing. While they were dealing with your man, you took the whole CDC, you went different country to go celebrate no falling hero or CDC day, something like crap. I will follow him because I can follow all of them. So he was talking, he got something a pop car, he done made every EV. So he started talking, he said, oh, we coming, we coming. Meanwhile, the men have already fallen. All right. So the time you ready supposed to put your foot down. You see, when I saw this guy, or what his name, Vandela Patrick, when I saw he alone, when I saw him without cooking on ear, he alone walking in the street, I said no. For nothing.
The man wants something to eat or to do it. Sorry,
The man was doing a one-man protest. But the problem was, that was when I expected the CDC, I know, they would have rallied around. Jefferson Koji would have mobilized manpower. President Weah would have called. They would have enforced it to make sure that you have enough people to gather around the Capitol building to demand the lawmakers to do the right thing.
On this one here, I give her on George Weah. Paramount Chief said he will not even win it in like that. You sit down your party speaker for this is what the government want. The same man, Unity Party, yes, we understand he won narrowly. This is the same man because Unity Party wants all to have an easy pass to make sure everything move, whatever they did. This is the same man they brought back. And they were doing all of that, you as the leader, because it puts your party at a position, the survivor, whether your party will die or it will survive. That's why it is.
But Mr. So, Rachel Kuhn is twice as much corrupt more than even Fonati. Rachel Kuhn is corrupt more than even all those guys been in the house there. They know all the deliver. That is why they cannot actually bring Fonati to do due process. Because if they bring a man to do due process, plenty of things will come also. All the dirty clothes we see all the pieces of dirty clothes. But the thing here is that, and President, we are talking about now you bring all the people that you bring in does not even constitute half of the population in the country. That is the same thing they did during the election time. You put 20,000 people outside. It doesn't determine that the whole bureau has spoken. So I don't know whether if they're calculating, and I don't think that they're calculating. Because this position they have lost, it's gonna haunt them. Because if the speaker becomes the supporting arm of the government, they can do many things. And remember, that budget that went to the House, what they say, under 21 million got missing from it. And then Fanati he was not even out of the country, he was just out of the city. When Tomo Fala then they did all that thing, and then Fanati recalled that to revisit that in order to stop the insider into that. Those people, when they say corrupt, all of them, and that's the real corruption can come. Yeah, the real corruption
comes. Those guys too, they were screwing up.
Because the problem is the papa get Yombly in the Senate. When our money Bennett came out, you hear the news, it died down quietly. That whole corruption thing. In the House, there were noise. But the noise did not go far play because they tried to suppress it. And I blame Fonati too. Because if he had done his homework to checkmate this government, by now he balanced. But the problem, everybody want it. Everybody want it. And forget about the other people. There are some people in our house there. If you want to make sure to solidify your ground, you got to make sure that everybody or the majority eating. But only one group of people, you just get a few handful of people eating, and you think that you will solidify your ground, it's going to be difficult for you. It's going to be very difficult for you.
When you call for the to audit the house, that's where the king will kick down the road. They never wanted they were not in support of this guy is about to expose her. And two, seditions, they look at the short-term effect as to his political career. They were not looking at the long-term role. They got we'll do it anyway. Anything can we'll face it. Yeah, like somebody say, like, oh, I mean, I can spoil my credit. I can face it anytime. No, the way you spoil it, you can't face it like that. You got to pay all the debt. You got to go through counseling. You got to do everything. They never saw Fanatic Kofa as a CDC. Sedition was very uncomfortable. They felt that when you're going to stay for the next 6 years, considering his budget, the probability of he becoming independent was most likely.
That's the key.
More popular to surpass George Weah.
Yes.
As a threat. So Bafo Chimos, Emmanuel Nokwe, all the people who were not even in the place, the guy was fighting so many fronts. When this guy told me today, he said, "Oh, Kofa, he want to play a church ground." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Oh, nothing, but on the other side, Lekwe were coming in." So government they were not even concerned of the process where that money came from, because they all facilitated that money to get to pump money, because in this thing to do it, it's keeping the people in the place that eating that for nothing. They know where that money was coming from. And I think
that is why
was supporting that stuff.
If the LACC is serious now, they can go to RLJ to find receipts.
What kind of LACC? They want the money. This representative at higher, you turn that money over, or just to charge away. You turn that money over to getting the receipt. We investigate. Look, I think you said here the other day, the old man never wanted. It just remind me about during the heat of the civil crisis. Because when he got Auckland, left Ghana, went in the barrel. Prince Johnson came 1-2 times, visited, though. When the other people said they may this is what you're gonna do. They said no. He said, telling you today, he said no. I said, okay. What happened when Doe went across the bridge? And what he told you, he said,
you never came back.
That's what Joseph Boyka did. Sedition were upset, they were mad. I don't know what they wanted Kofa. Kofa he's a politician, he's a lawyer, he knew what he was doing. You can't just be for the empire, everything should just be no when it shouldn't even be no. They just look at one side of the wall and close everything up. Oh, he too friendly with the president. Oh, he couldn't do this. He needs to get closer to him to know, but see that like, oh, it's a betrayal of the cause of CDC. And for he to come tell me here, oh, he do the work, George. Yes, George, we are get fried fish to fry inside, because people who from his party, including you lucky to get speaker and deputy speaker. Why you think Donald Trump wanted to put this Margate guy here? Because he wanted somebody to make him Attorney General and all of those kind of things there, because he wanted some. It's everywhere. The president will always want to do something to get a pass. And they were lucky to get a speaker and deputy speaker and Tomo Fala of all for them to put together to do that.
Tomo Fala knows that Kun. That what I mean. I see people all over the place saying, congratulations, Kun. I'm not a Unity Party man. I don't support Unity Party. I supported JMB and all that. I'm not going to congratulate Kun, because I don't see him as a good leader. Because he been in the house for many years and his name had come up in allegations of corruption. So I do support, and that's why people don't understand me. They don't understand me. When I say on my opinion, they think that I'm supporting one side. I just give you my opinion because I understand how the politics look. But again, these are all common, Mr. So it is called reciprocity. All right. What I says is that, Tomo Fala is aware that Kun will protect him. And don't be surprised that our draft budget, they will begin to increase their money. He and Tomo Fala, all the work they did, it will be inclusive in the budget. All the work Tomo Fala did, watch that budget. His budget is around 600,000.
And they just start appointing committee, putting people. So what?
All over the place.
Removing all of those people. What is that?
And what they promising, Mr. So yeah, the key call here. They are promising most of those people who came on board and were in the struggle. Most of those people are going to be on lucrative committees that will help to fuel the agendas, to help to give them money in their pockets. And that is where we're going to see the Joseph Boyka government going downhill, because in the next 1 year, we will not see much from Joseph Boakai government. Because this budget is going to be destroyed by those newly elected lawmakers who have taken position. They're going to destroy the budget because they're going to increase and put inflation. They're going to do all kinds of things. And at the end of the day, it will just pass on away to benefit few people, while rest of the country and rest of the people in the country remain without anything. My fear here, Mr. So, is that, Joseph Boakai is losing the gravity that he had, the integrity that he talked about. He losing that integrity. It's easy to be on the side that think that they are doing the right thing, like what the sedition they were doing during their own time too. They went and they made what he name Bani Samuka won the election. We are waiting for the man to finish winning the election. Then they brought what they call on the man. They used the court to manipulate the man and take him from an elected position. An elected position. You don't persecute the man. But that is in there. I was talking. He says, you can't tell me, say, there's a song. They say Satan kill me all around. He can't do me nothing. So what you are doing for Satan to kill you all over the place, then you say he didn't do you nothing. Just for Satan to kill you all around, there are so much damages he has caused in you.
I don't know.
Yeah. But
the old man is not in charge. That's the bottom line.
Mr. So he's in charge. This is what Joseph Boakai have been exposed to too much, and the problem is he have the opportunity to make the difference, but he just deliberately choosing to go downhill.
Yeah, Victor, you are quite correct. By the time Kofa talk about that audit, that's where that was the antecedent of the whole thing here. So, the mayor, you see what he's doing. He want to be like a clean man. He wants for the culture here. He positioning himself to be the next president 2029. And and the sedition, they are onto this some kind of they just so even if he was to be a viable person, they don't see that as something to their. Because even as this guy was going to say, he was going to rebranch CDC, and that what they didn't want it. They wanted a South group then to continue to be there. So even if Kofa, if we are decided not to go, Kofa are going to go, most of the funny people that making more than they're not going to be here. Kofa are not going to have them around. So the best thing they do is say, well, let them cut this guy off, let's disconnect this guy, let's put his lamp off right away, way ahead of time before he gets positioned. That's what it did. But I don't know.
Yeah, CDC do not like sound people that will help to restructure, because I'm going to rebrand the party. First of all, the man started
on the judiciary now. Is he a lawyer? Where has he? So is he? That is the trouble with our whole our legislature. These people, when they put in people, regardless whether it's the party in control, they put people in places based on your profession that you'll be a good asset. But on the people then, they just put you in a kind of place to be a judiciary committee. It's in a small thing, even the executive and all of those things.
Even ways, means, and finance, you got to know money. You got to know about money. You see, and that is why you see, so the thing is hard to talk. But my disappointment comes in the wake of President Boakai 11 months, or let's say 10 months in power, and there have been too much errors. One of which is this error that we are facing right now.
Either corruption or some kind of reports in his government and this and that. They never checking. Oh no, they brought people. So they were just bringing people. You were just putting them in. So
you see, the Papa letter Ale Japo, he will Ale to say he's not in charge. So people can say, oh, that's somebody else running the government. No, the woman in charge. He knows exactly what's going on. Don't tell me that Papa not in charge. That Papa is in charge. He knows exactly what's going on, but he can Ale. He don't know. That how he can act. He can Ale.
budget. He knew it was going to be a controversial thing. He threw it to these breakaway people.
Yes.
He had to go walk about the drink pan one inside one day say going to say.
But you can see all the major steps that the old man took were all steps that had clandestine agendas. They asked them, what you say, I know that Ivory Coast thing, what hopefully born here. So the man went to Italy. Yeah.
That one he did told him, man. He told the speaker by the time he went, the man then he said, so by as soon as he left, the whole resurrection, political insurrection took place. What happens at the Capitol here yesterday? That's another modified version of January 6th in the USA. That's a modified version took place in our country that these people went into. Just a group of people just put together. Look at the people process when they were removing McCarthy. You don't just resolution. Organized. People were voting according to core representatives from state to state, whether yes or no. The clerk taking down notes, everybody quiet. But see how disgruntled, disorganized these guys, they put them, they were in hurry to the extent this guy, he went putting his left hand, all of that, they say inducting into office.
The men were afraid because some men could say, oh, we don't want it, we don't want it. So
by the time that is detail security, detail coming. So what can you say? The president is aware. The president knows exactly. He initiated this, orchestrated it, planted the people and say, okay, I did not go to Salon. One across the border, we don't start.
But the man went to his safe haven first because he know if anything backfire, Sarah Luna, my home, people will take care of me. That will get too much sense. But Mr. So, all in all, right, this is the Liberian politics. This is the typical Liberian politics. The only thing I thought was that, and you see, God brought President Boka in power for a reason. All right. President Boka have the ability to make the right decision. If you choose not to, it will haunt your leadership in the future and it will destroy your leadership. An example was President Weah. The people will not forget this election that took place in the House a few days. The people will not forget it. The people will not forget it. And if after this election, all of what Richard Kuhn is promising, all the guys are promising, and those promises are not fulfilled, it will cause the food to get rotten more and more, and the people will pay you back.
Devil power, when you're done with the devil can tell, right? That's what you do. Because why they brought people who know another group of 49 will put together. But you know, this Liberia country is quite interesting. It has a history of always violating their own laws. That started from the civil crisis. When Samuel Doe was captured, he was killed. Harry Monibah was still the sitting vice president. What happened? The constitution was completely abolished. He should have taken over. That did not happen. We just saw everything, baka and everything went downhill. They have come
again.
What
wrong with the Lpr? They don't know how to. What wrong with the Lpr, Mr. So?
That one, I think we ask Sissy.
Sissy, what wrong with the Lpr people, man?
All of y'all brought the trouble to us.
Mr. So, they're not trouble. We didn't bring. You see, God Himself is the one that
he can rescue himself, his retirement. He came to rescue. Then all of your jump behind him, rescue. He came to rescue his retirement for he and his children and everybody. This is unbelievable. Now there are many people now. This is one of the reasons why Helen Johnson Sirleaf never lifted the hands of that woman, because it looked like he just something.
Well, he still have 5 more years to redeem himself.
The same thing, Joe. We have people are doing that. Why you're coming to 5 more years? The first year looking at it, people corruption, wearing naked, walking up and down.
I thought
all kinds of stuff.
I really thought the people were going to initiate audit and carry on investigation on all the audit reports. No. I thought by now he would have been persecuting people. But the man just forgot about everything. Somebody was telling me today that money that was transferred to those money that were going to the lawmaker came from the NSA. Alleged. Let me just say alleged.
And that's one of the. In fact, that's one of the one of the price. So those sort of funds goes to operation.
Right.
So when you go to operation, and more or less it's a covering. This going on, you're going to do. So it had to keep track because security, money, and things in the operation, you don't never kind of like people put eye on it, and that's why you see the budget looking at that. What kind of operation? So routine. They take it and ration it among themselves.
I saw something about $14 million going to security. I think the NSA or so, something around $14 million. I don't know what they're going to do with all that money, what kind of security they're doing, and all of that. But we Mr. So we are still hopeful as Liberians. That's why you see sometimes I can just look at Liberia and I just want to just say, look for buyer to just sell the country. You send my own, everybody carry their money. We can be citizens for different countries. Because that's all I see. Because we keep talking, we keep trying to put people in power.
Look at a country don't want to. It's just, I don't know. Oh my goodness, my head said, thank you for coming on.
See what I said? In as much as the majority black, but I was really I was very weak. I just got weak when I saw that thing yesterday. I was weak, Mr. So yeah, because in as much as I thought they were going to have a genuine process. I thought they were going to delay it a little bit, do some hard.
You got all the people that went out, they got good money.
Oh yeah, no boss.
Today, say, the liquid. Why are you speaking specifically?
But the thing I don't understand, why do other people are crying that they put a name to the resolution and they moving it and all of that? You didn't read before you put your name to a resolution? You didn't read it? You didn't read the resolution?
So stupid people.
You didn't. Then the other man, what the people going to carry on an assassination? Then he went and sent notarized copies on Facebook that he removed his signature. They did what the people in the session to remove the man. That the time you say you sending notarized copy, I don't get what kind of Liberian lawmaker that will keep putting into the kind of sensitive position. You don't read, you don't know that you're affixing your signature to a document that has the propensity to remove your speaker. Then you go say, oh no, I removed my name. And I went to it. So you didn't read first before you affix your signature?
All right, Terry, good night. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, that does it this evening here. We say thank you so much here. Sometimes we'll go back to our community to see what it looks like. Again, our own guy, Saint Crater Joe, to may his soul rest in peace. We announced his funeral rites as well. The Africans, there will be an African Gala Night on the 7th of December right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. It's going to be a big event as well. I would say happy birthday to one of our own, to a strong follower, supporter, big fans of the Liberia Public Radio, Mrs. Esther Clark Fedlitz. I celebrate her birthday today. Congratulations, happy birthday, and enjoy yourself. I mean, have time to forget about the Liberia today. Leave it with Fatu and Breakable, let them do their own thing here. Folks, until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.